Okay, welcome back. I just wanted to do a video on this bootleg Action Man. He's made by a company called rEdbox, from Hong Kong, and he was made in the 60s apparently, 60s, 70s. I got this today off a guy on eBay, and I wanted to firstly just say how nice it is and what a nice example it is. It comes with the helmet, as you can see. There should have been maybe some elastic in there to keep it on, which is probably perished or somebody's ripped it out. It has got a little bit of damage to his left ear, but the paintwork on it is pretty damn decent. From see the ear coming around there has got a bit of a chip out of it. It is blown plastic, so for something this old to even be in such a good condition as it is a rarity. I do appreciate that. I think it's the original outfit. It has got a few repairs. The top button has been re-sewn on with black thread, as you can see under the arm. It's got some repair there. Not gonna mess with it. I'm not even sure if I'm gonna wash the clothes because they are very fragile. I did take it apart to inspect it, and either I've ripped it or somebody else has ripped it, taken the clothes on and off. The thumb, as you can see, it's got like the Action Man old hand. So when you redress it, the thumb goes through the material on the right arm, I think it was. But it's a very interesting figure. It is a copy, a clone, a bootleg, knockoff, whatever you want to call it. The boots look very similar to Action Man. The design of the whole figure itself looks very similar to Action Man. The head looks more like Tommy Gunn, so maybe it's a clone of Tommy Gunn. Maybe other people can chip in and qualify that or correct me if I'm wrong. The guy I got it off, it was a very good seller. Like that's another thing that maybe I'll do a part 2 about selling practices and stuff, because I might just include it in this one. He done everything right. He communicated. He packed really well. Even put a note in with the figure. That's another thing I want to touch on, whether that's legit or not. But it all looks legit, and it's just me being probably cynical or suspicious of people, which is my nature. I will get back to that in a minute. But looking at the figure, it all checks out. His story checks out. My only reason I'm being suspicious is if this was his childhood figure, why would you sell it? But then again, not everyone is as sentimental as me. But I think that might be a little bit of sales patter to pull at the old heartstrings. I might just be cynical and untrusting of people, but I'll show you the note he sent me. I've covered up his name and his email, but here you can see he's put my first Action Man bought in the late 60s for Christmas. That I'm not sure I believe, because if this was something that I got for Christmas in the 60s, or I wasn't even born, so it wouldn't be, but in the 70s, I was born in the 70s. If I got that, and there's no way I'd be selling it. I haven't got nothing from my childhood, really. A few little bits and bobs, but a lot of my stuff was either binned or given away, or when we moved, when I was about 10, 11, we moved house and I lost a lot of my stuff. So it was either stored in the attic and we never brought it, or just, I don't know, things get thrown out. Parents ain't sentimental, so maybe this is where my obsession for collecting things has come from. Maybe it's a you want to get psychological. It could be trauma. We've all had trauma in our life. I don't want to say poor me, because everyone's got their story. But yeah, it is interesting. Why would somebody sell something from their childhood? That's why I don't believe it. And plus, he has a lot of stuff for sale. I mean, really good prices, really good seller. I would recommend him. His username on eBay is it's a toy thing, or it's a boy thing, something like that. It's a boy thing. He sells a lot of Playmobil, Action Man, and this was very reasonably priced as well. I've seen these figures go for about 20 to £30, sometimes, undressed. So this looks like it's got the original outfit. I got this delivered for £30. Has the weapon, has the hat, or helmet, the outfit. Has got a bit of damage, but as I say, the face and the paintwork is really good. Most of the other ones I've seen have got hardly any distinguishable paint. And I did get outbid on a few. I was going to buy one of them, but somebody outbid me at the last minute, last second. So I'm really happy to have this. I wish I wasn't so cynical, and I believed people when they told me, if this is his figure from the 60s and Christmas, I want to thank him for parting with it. It will be loved. It will be appreciated here. Once I get some more stands and sort out a nice display area for it, it will go with Johnny Shits and Danny Chips and Johnny Goes to War, or Combat Johnny, whatever he's called, and Mr. Poisson is definitely going to be appreciated. I just wish I wasn't so cynical, and but that's another part of selling, I guess. Maybe it is just spiel to pull on people's heartstrings. Anyway, I'm sure you've got bored of listening to me and watching him rotate, so I will take him off the stand and show you him a bit more. Turn that off because that's annoying me. In their detail, he's got a charm of his own. He looks a little bit Chinese. Maybe somebody's touched up the paint at some point, and maybe this is how it came back in the 60s. I've seen a few of these, as I said, and the hair does seem to have a lot of wear at the back of the paint. A lot of them do look like that. It's a hard head, but it's hollow. So as you can see from the other side, it's got that chip, which I could fill in if I was going to do a mould of this and cast a head. I might just try and get another one and cast that and just leave this as is. I don't really want to mess with original stuff, so I don't even really want to wash the clothing because it does feel very fragile. It comes with this weapon, which looks like a recast of an Action Man rifle. I'm not an expert on these things, but it's got the two holes for a bit of elastic again. So I don't think I have any black elastic, but I'm going to get some. That'd look smart, slung over his shoulder. So the outfit, it's got the three poppers here. And I'll just strip it down and give you a quick look at what's going on underneath. Yeah, it's got double jointed elbows. Everything's intact. It's a really nice condition figure, and I say I wish I wasn't so cynical, because I am grateful, whether his story was true or not. As you can see there, rEdbox, Hong Kong, Pat pending. Let's take off this stand, and as you can see, it's got rivets going through there. So it's got quite a lot of it's got like a butterfly. Is that a butterfly joint? No, I don't think it is, but it has got a little bit of movement there, up and down, elbow obviously, and then the wrist hasn't got rotation, but it has got pivot. So yeah, it's a clean figure. It's in good condition. The way these the right way, so I don't get them mixed up. So yeah, when I put the shirt back on, I've already undressed this once. And I did do it gently. These just feel very thin. I think they were to start with, but time has probably not helped. As you can see, he's got the balls at the top, the swivel, more riveted knees. All the rivets are intact. Another thing that fails on these joints are quite good as well. You know, it's good for holding a pose. I'll just show you inside. It's got a bit the elastic. I'm not sure if that's the original elastic. It looks like it's been twisted. Could very well be the original. It's quite yellow. Don't want to pull on it too much. If it snaps on camera, that would be just... Nah, it can't be original, surely. If I was to do that with an old piece of elastic, that would surely snap. So I think this has been elastic banded, whatever. It's not restrung. But as you can see, he's a rather nice figure. Maybe not that desirable to many people, but to me, I think he's He's not the favourite, but he's definitely a welcome addition. I'm glad to have him, and I thank Vince for parting with his childhood, whatever this one's called. Maybe he's called maybe somebody can let me know in the comments what he's called. It can't be just called a rEdbox figure. So yeah, there's a little hole there where the thumb went through the fabric. And so he's had a few repairs. Maybe Vince did these, or maybe a relative. I could probably do better, a bit more neater, but I'll just leave it be. Oh, it's had both done, look. So yeah, I can see, well, maybe it's been done like that because the material is so thin. Maybe it's best just to leave it alone and take it on face value that it was his from the 60s. Again, it gets back to my point though. Why would you want to sell things from your from the 60s, from your childhood? Maybe he's got loads. I don't know. He sells a lot of boxed Action Man as well. So I'm thinking, unless he was very privileged and he had shitloads of toys as a kid, I think he's a dealer, and I think it's just playing on people's heartstrings really. But you know, don't think that's such a bad thing. If people think they've got a nice piece of history and you know something that somebody's loved and looked after all these years, and they've been privileged to, you know, passed on to you, that is a nice thing. Just wish I wasn't so bloody cynical, as I keep saying. But you know, it's one of those things, innocence you can never get back. But you can, in some ways, when you kind of relive you know, getting these things as a kid. I think that's the whole, for me anyway, is kind of trying to recapture some of that sort of childhood innocence and wonderment in these things, posing them up, and because I know my kids, they don't value a lot of the toys they get. They love them and they play with them as they should. They treat them like shit, as they should, and then probably in 30 years' time they'll be trying to get these little Lego figures again, or these knockoff figures. They'll be searching on eBay and paying silly amounts of money just to get a figure that I bought in a pound shop. It's like, you know, sentimental value is what people will be cashing in on, and they'll be saying, "Oh, I had this as a child, and I'm selling it now." And please leave me good feedback. But as I say, thanks to Vince, itsaboything on eBay, very good seller. I say the service, you can't knock the service. He packed this item really, really well. It was in brown paper, first of all, and then it was wrapped in, the box has got eBay written all over it. It was wrapped very well in bubble wrap, and then placed inside the box with this really thick tissue here, so it was properly cocooned, and so it was sent signed delivery in a box with eBay written all over it, and then brown paper, you know, proper traditional way of sending something. So when you get it, you feel, you know, you've been looked after. You've bought something that is a treasure. And then to add the little extra, this was my first Action Man. That's what made me trigger me thinking suspicious thoughts. It's probably just my paranoid mind, or my cynical mind, reading things that aren't there. That's me. I am a bit weird and a bit jaded. So that's why I kind of like these things, because it's kind of back to an innocent time where there was no worries, there was no problems. The only problems were what time is Grange Hill on, or the cartoons, or, you know, Scooby-Doo. But yeah, thanks for watching, thanks for listening. If you've lasted this long, I appreciate it. And next video will be, let me see, I'll give you a sneak peek, maybe. Yeah. Nah, he's just here. I'll give you a quick look at him. If you've lasted this long, then you deserve a treat. So there you go. There's my custom Action Man. Another custom Action Man. This is the suit. Another suit that I got off Mick Coxey. You might remember from another video, I've got another one that's very similar but more dirty. This is a nice clean one. It isn't actually an Action Man figure. It's just an Action Man head stuck onto a bastardized sideshow figure with some hands off an old static figure, crappy figure that you get like for, you know, £10, £20. I've got really no articulation. I just ripped the hands off that for a Captain America bash. If you go back further in my channel, you might be able to find that. And I ripped the gauntlets off a cheap figure and the head, and made a custom which I sold. And yeah, that was a nice figure, that, but it's not really something that I really want or collect. It's just something I saw in a charity shop. I grabbed it and yeah, grabbed some parts off Facebook, and yeah, it was a good figure. It was good fun doing that one. This one wasn't too much work. The neck peg was broken off, so I had to make a new neck peg there.